earlier than you.
Oh, you did already. You faster.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, Yasmin. So, we have to read today.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, everybody. Bonjour. Yasmin is here. Wishing everybody happy. 262, page 262, and we have to read the paragraph for that now superconscious transcendence. So, it's a long time, 1 week. So, I will read out to you the summary of what I said earlier so that we get the continuity. Okay? But the road is long and the goal is far. The compassion of the divine does not wait for perfection of the individual. The Lord commences to show himself even earlier. The help he gives to his father starts from the very beginning because he is already present in the physical world, though concealed. And it is he who originates all work in the world, but he also receives all work and sacrifice. He originates the work and he receives also everything. He is hidden in life, in mind. He shows himself through the gods and symbols. The sadhaka of the interior yoga can conceive of him as an ideal or an abstraction of love, beauty, good knowledge. Why abstraction? Because we don't know him at all. So we have to conceive of him. So you can conceive of him as somebody who is full of love, beauty, good knowledge. Or he may draw nearer to God through humanitarianism. That also will take you nearer to the God. Or a strong desire and will to deliver mankind from darkness, also death and suffering, the great quaternary of the ignorance. So, man's first approach to God can be in many, many ways. That's what he says. Because we don't know who he is. So, having said that, now we will read the paragraph we have to read today. So, who has to read? None of you can read. Sonki, maybe you can read.
Yes, Rangada.
Go ahead.
For then now, superconscient transcendence is a power as well as an existence. The supramental transcendence is not a vacant wonder, but an inexpressible, which contains forever all essential things that have issued from it. It holds them there in their supreme everlasting reality and their own characteristic absolutes. The diminution, division, degradation, they create here the sense of an unsatisfactory puzzle, a mystery of Maya themselves diminish and fall from us in our ascension, and the divine powers assume their real forms and appear more and more as the terms of a truth in process of realization here. A soul of the divine is here, slowly awakening out of its involution and concealment in the material inconscience. The master of our works is not a master of illusion, but a supreme reality who is working out his self-expressive realities delivered slowly from the cocoons of the ignorance in which for the purposes of an evolutionary manifestation they were allowed for a while to slumber. For the supramental transcendence is not a thing, absolutely apart and unconnected with our present existence. It is a state of life out of which all this has come for the adventure of the soul, lapsing into the inconscious and emerging out of it. And while that adventure proceeds, it waits superconscient above our minds till it can become conscious in us. Hereafter, it will unveil itself and, by the unveiling, reveal to us all the significance of our own being and our works. For it will disclose the divine, whose fuller manifestation in the world will release and accomplish that covered significance.
Okay. The language is always full of suggestions. So we'll have to uncover all the suggestions. We'll do that. Okay. So They start now. For that now superconscious transcendence is a power as well as an existence. Note the word now. When you are beginning your search for God, He is superconscious to us. In other words, we don't know Him. Superconscious transcendence now. Now means when you are struggling. I read the previous paragraph. You are struggling to know God and you see Him through gods, through symbols, through conceptions. So He is now superconscious to you. In other words, He is not yet available to you. Okay? But that superconscious is a power as well as an existence. Now, the word existence is very clear. I am again telling you, reminding you that the divine is not vacant wonder, as I said later on. He is actually substance. Okay, so that substance and existence, Srivendra uses the words in this way. When he says existence, he means Sat. Sat, Chit, Shakti, Ananda. And that Sat means the substance which is the subtlest. It is so subtle that our senses cannot take cognizance of it. Okay? Our senses will not be able to reach that subtle. You have to change your consciousness to be able to experience that subtlety. Okay? So that's why Srivendra is saying it's a power, but it's also a substance. Now, when he uses the word existence, he means subtlest of substance. And when he uses the word substance, he means slightly more dense. Okay? That means in the middle. And then finally, when he uses the word matter, he means substance at its grossest. Okay? So keep this in mind. So he's saying divine is a substance. Okay? It's not something vacant. It's not vacant, it is substance. Okay? The superman transcendence.
Dada,
Yes.
Dada,
Yes.
the pure existence and this existence, is there? It is just a question of our mind, only limited mind. Is there any difference
Between what and
pure,
what?
pure existence, and this transcendent state, this whatever Srivendra is talking
Same.
about, that this existence,
Same.
same.
Yes. Because the word
Okay.
existence is, so pure existence is absolutely the same.
Okay. Thank you.
It is one infinite, eternal, pure. See, when he is using the word pure, you must understand one thing. What does it imply? When something is pure, there is no imperfection in it. And if there is some imperfection in it, it is not one. So when you use the word pure, it means only oneness. There is no two in it. An imperfection will be two. So oneness and purity are words in the spiritual etymology, if you want. It is the same thing. When something is one, it is pure, necessarily. And when something is pure, it is necessarily one. Okay? So existence, whether it be pure or not, is one thing. Subtlest substance. I go to the next sentence. The supramental transcendence is not a vacant wonder, okay, but an inexpressible which contains forever all essential things that have issued from it. In other words, it contains everything, okay, but unexpressed, unmanifested. Just like the seed contains leaves, flowers, fruits, bark, roots, everything, but you can't see them in the seed. Exactly in the same way, the this superconscious transcendence or the existence is a seed from which everything else comes out. Okay? But you don't see those things which are coming out. You see them only at the lower level. You don't see them in the source. Okay? Just like the seed, as I said. But an inexpressible, it is there, but you can't describe what it is. Okay? Which contains forever all essential things that are issued from it. Note also the word essential. It does not mean to say that leaves and flowers and fruits and all these things are there in the seed in their present form. They are not. They are there essentially. The essential nature of all these things are there. Okay? Just like the chromosomes contain everything that you have. It's exactly in the same way. Okay? That have issued from it. It holds them there in their supreme everlasting reality. Now note that if it has to be supreme everlasting reality, it cannot have a form. So it is the essential is always formless and it is indescribable. So this is what, see the accuracy of the words, that's what I'm just pointing out. Supreme everlasting reality. Everlasting reality has necessary to be formless and infinite and not subject to time and space. Okay? And their own characteristic absolutes. The character of everything is there in seed form in the transcendent superconscious existence. Okay? Now, every word in Sri though, you have to see its implications and then you will understand what he's saying. Then it becomes easy also to understand. Now, the law of diminution, division, degradation comes out. The one which is pure gets diminished when it comes out. When it manifests itself, it undergoes the law of diminution, division, and degradation. That's why consciousness at the highest level becomes unconsciousness below. Okay? The infinite above becomes finite below. The Ananda above becomes not Nirananda, but pleasure, pain, and indifference. Okay? They get distorted and degraded. Okay? So this is in the physical world. The diminution, division, degradation that create here the sense of an unsatisfactory puzzle. Okay? You don't know what is the meaning of existence here. Why you don't know? There's so much of misery, so much of suffering, death, all these things. How can it be that the divine has created all these things? Okay? So it's a puzzle to you in the beginning. Later on, when you realize the divine, it's not a puzzle anymore. It's a mystery of Maya. So Maya is the one that can give form, but when it gives form, necessarily the laws of diminution, division, and degradation come in. Okay? And it's something inexplicable. It has the power to reduce itself. Okay? That's it. Diminish themselves. Okay? Then have the sense of an unsatisfactory puzzle, a mystery of Maya, themselves diminish and fall away from us in their ascension. So these things which are diminution, division, and degradation, when we are ascending to the divine, okay, is the opposite movement. The movement from above below is the involution, and when you are ascending, is the evolution. So then the opposite happens. What was diminished now starts increasing. So at the lower level, the unconscious that you see starts diminishing and consciousness starts increasing. Division also, that which you see as divided here, we all see division only, you start seeing the oneness as you go higher and higher. And the degradation also which you see here starts becoming less and less so that you see the pure forms of all these things. Okay? That create here the sense of an uncertainty puzzle, a mystery of Maya, themselves diminish and fall away from us in our ascension. And the divine powers assume their real forms and appear more and more as the terms of the truth in process of realization. So now you can see it is a work in progress. Okay? That things are not yet completed. That's why the imperfections of the physical world are half finished products. Okay? That you understand. But if you want the full product, you have to go up. You have to be there. But slowly, slowly, in the physical world, all the imperfections also will be removed step by step. But it's a very slow process. In fact, actually, it will be eternity. But you must not get discouraged when we say eternity, because every step that you take upwards is so unbelievably fantastic that it gives you tremendous satisfaction. That is the reason why many people who go up even a little bit, they think that that's ultimate. Okay? That's the whole problem. Okay? So this evolution will continue forever because the divine is infinite. It will go on forever. But every step on the way is a tremendous satisfaction. Yes. And you realize that everything is a work in progress. All the imperfection that you see here, one day will start reducing and it will go on. The divine will go on manifesting himself here more and more perfectly. A soul of the divine is here. Here means in the physical world, below. Slowly awaking out of its involution and concealment in the material inconscience. Evolution is very slow. The master of our works is not a master of illusions. He is answering the ascetic and the Mayavadi and the Buddhists. He is not a master of illusions, but a supreme reality who is working out his self-expressive realities, delivered slowly from the cocoons of the ignorance in which, for the purposes of a very evolutionary manifestation, they were allowed for a while to slumber. What are slumbering? The divine qualities. And the divine qualities are in the cocoon. If you remember, the cocoon is a very interesting image because, first of all, it's a caterpillar. Then suddenly it stops moving and covers itself with a thick coat of all sorts of cotton-like substance. That's a cocoon. Okay? You will never imagine that what comes out of it can be such a beautiful moth. Okay? And now I don't know if all of you are feeling, but my room is now full of moths. Okay, it's a season. So wonderful, beautiful moths. Come on, it's a cocoon. So 3 stages. Okay, first there is a caterpillar, then there is a cocoon, and then there is a butterfly or a moth. So this is a perfect image and a perfect symbol of evolution. That butterfly has not yet come in the world, but it is slowly going towards it. Okay? Who is working out self-expressive realities. You note that self-expressive means divine is not creating something that it does not have. He is creating, he is not even creating. He is just bringing out what is already there in him. Just like the seed brings out the tree which is already inside it. It's not something new. Okay? It's nothing new. It is already there inside. It is bringing it out. Okay? And the cocoons of the ignorance in which the purposes of an evolutionary manifestation, they were allowed to slumber. I think that last bit is clear. The imperfections of the physical world are allowed because the intention is an evolution. And there can be no evolution unless you start from the imperfection and go to perfection. Evolution means going towards perfection. So where do you start? You start from total imperfection. So that's what it meant. They were allowed. The imperfections are allowed because evolution is a purpose. Okay? Now, for the supramental transcendence is not a thing absolutely apart and unconnected with our present existence. The divine seems to be so far away from us that we feel that it is not for us. It is very far away. But no, that's a mistaken idea. He is there very much hiding in yourself. Okay? He is there. You have to uncover him. Okay? It is a greater light out of which all this has come for the adventure of the soul. Now see, this is again, somebody is giving you the reason for the evolution. It's an adventure of the soul. Then it's a play. Okay? It's a leela. The divine is hiding himself in the opposite of himself, and then he's slowly emerging. He's playing this game, and all of us are also playing the game, but we've forgotten. And so that's why we start complaining. When there is pain and when there is a little bit of misfortune, we start complaining. Forgetting fully that we ourselves have decided to do the adventure. Okay? That's all. The adventure is not a pretense, it's a real adventure. That is why we forget. Otherwise, you would have remembered. Okay? So, that's the adventure. The adventure of the soul, lapsing into the inconscience and emerging out of it. This is a game being played by the divine, not once, not twice, but infinitely. Right now, 7 or 8 billion people are there on earth, but tomorrow there will be even more. And this game is endless. It goes on and on and on. Okay? He wants to enjoy infinitely. Every time an individual reaches the divine, it's the divine who is enjoying. Okay? It awaits superconscious above our minds till it can become consciousness. Hereafter, it will unveil. So first he used the word now, if you remember. Okay? That word now is so important. Now means beginning. Now he is using the word hereafter. That means later on. Okay? Now you can see how every word that he uses, there is a purpose to it. Okay? Very clearly he is contrasting now with hereafter. Okay? Hereafter, in future, it will unveil itself. And by the unveiling, reveal to us all the significance of our own being and our works. Okay? What is the significance of the world? What is the significance of man? Everything will become clear to you, and what you are to do in the world. What is expected of you? That also will come up. For if you disclose the divine, whose fuller manifestation in the world will release and accomplish that covert significance. Which is the covert significance? The manifestation of the divine in the world in slow degrees. Now, note the word also fuller. He is not talking of full manifestation. He is talking of fuller manifestation. So, how important is that change? It's a slow, and manifestation is almost nil. Then it starts becoming more and more and more. Finally, it is full, and it can be even fuller than what it is now. Okay? The word fuller is to be seen in the right way. It indicates that there is a gradation of evolution. So clearly. Every word, if you examine why Srimati is saying that, then it becomes clear, and the accuracy of his language becomes very clear. Okay? And that covert means hidden significance. What is that? The significance is the evolution from the lowest to the highest. We have now come to the last paragraph of the chapter. So, one of you has to read it.
Shall I read?
Yes, go ahead. In that disclosure.
In that disclosure, the transcendent divine will be more and more made known to us as the supreme existence and the perfect source of all that we are. But equally, we shall see him as a master of works and creation, prepared to pour out more and more of himself into the field of his manifestation. The cosmic consciousness and its action will appear no longer as a huge regulated chance, but as a field of the manifestation. There the divine is seen as a presiding and pervading cosmic spirit who receives all out of the transcendence and develops what descends into forms that are now an opaque disguise or a battling half disguise, but destined to be a transparent revelation. The individual consciousness will recover its true sense and action, for it is the form of a soul sent out from the Supreme, and in spite of all appearances, a nucleus or nebula in which the Divine Mother Force is at work for the victorious embodiment of the timeless and formless divine in time and matter. This will reveal itself slowly to our vision and experience as the will of the Master of Works and as their own ultimate significance, which alone gives to the world, creation, and to our own action in the world a light and a meaning. To recognize that and to strive towards its effectuation is the whole burden of the way of divine works in the integral yoga.
So, we are discussing Karma Yoga, and he is now telling you the last bit. So, let's read again. The words are very indicative of what he means, and we have to concentrate on the exact meaning and the implication of each word. In that disclosure, what is a disclosure? The divine is disclosing himself, unveiling himself at every step. From matter, he is unveiling life potentially in himself. Then he is from life is unveiling the mind potential in himself. Then from mind, he will unveil the spiritual potential of himself. Then finally, the supramental potential of himself. So this is the disclosure. The transcendent divine will be more and more made known to us as a supreme existence and perfect source of all that we are. But equally, we shall see him as a master of works and creation, prepared to pour out more and more of himself into the field of manifestation. Now, we'll see the structure, because sometimes the language is a little hidden. So what he means here is, first of all, he is an impersonal. In that disclosure, the transcendent divine is formless and only potential. Okay, potential form. I mean, okay, is formless and infinite. So therefore, he is impersonal and will be more and more made known to us as a supreme existence. In other words, supreme substance. That substance, we will ourselves become that substance and the perfect source of all that we are. The source is that from which everything else comes out. So, he is the perfect source of all that we are. Now, immediately, Sridhar is correcting himself and saying, but equally, we shall see him as a master of works. In other words, that which seemed impersonal is now also personal. We see him as a master of works. Somebody with whom you can talk, exchange, okay, words, expressions, communicate. Okay? With the impersonal, you can't communicate. But with a master of works, person, you can communicate. And a master of works and creation, prepared to pour out more and more of himself into the field of manifestation. So, in the beginning also, the physical world seems to be impersonal. Everything that you see in the physical world is impersonal. Matter is impersonal. It is creating bodies, but it is impersonal. Then life also is impersonal. It is creating limited forms, but itself it is impersonal. Mind also seems to be all impersonal. Everything in the physical world is impersonal. The wind blowing, the sunlight coming, all imperfect, impersonal. But slowly as you go into the spiritual level of consciousness, you can experience him as a person also. There are so many cases. Instead of those cases, in jail, he had experience as a person. Sri Krishna himself came to him. In Ramakrishna's case, it was right from the beginning, the personal aspect of the divine. So, he will pour himself more and more into the field of manifestation. I read the next sentence. The cosmic consciousness and its action will appear no longer as a huge regulated chance. Okay? Why do you say chance? Because you are never sure of what's going to happen. It could go both ways. Okay? So it depends on chance. This has been discussed in great detail in Life Divine. Is it chance or is it law? Okay? Does everything come by law or is there a chance? Okay? So actually both of them are there all the time. And both these, if you go back to the Supreme, is a very intellectual discussion and intellectual understanding. Chit is consciousness and force is law. Okay? So force gives you the appearance of law, okay? Something fixed, and chit is freedom. So both the things are there at the same time in the physical world, and those who think of the law of karma and say that everything is fixed, it is fixed. At the lowest level, it is fixed 99% of the time. But there is also the element of freedom, which is 1%. As you keep climbing up, the law starts diminishing and the freedom starts increasing. And when you go to the highest level, total freedom. No binding element, no law at all. The law itself becomes freedom. Okay? The cosmic consciousness and its action will appear no longer as a huge regulated chance. Now the word regulated chance also is a oxymoron. Chance cannot be regulated. If it is regulated, then it's not a chance anymore. Regulation means a fixed way of doing things, regulation. So here also he has told us very clearly that both the things are there. There is freedom as well as there is law at the lowest level. But as a field of manifestation. So the universe is not something lawless. There is a law, but there is also a field of manifestation, and everything has got a meaning. The cosmic quantity, that is the field of manifestation. There, the divine is seen. There means where? In the physical world. Okay? There, the divine is seen as a presiding and pervading cosmic spirit. Sorry, I am saying there means in the nature, the cosmic. You see when the presiding and pervading cosmic spirit who receives all out of the transcendence and develops what descends into forms that are now an opaque disguise or a baffling half disguise. So, he has told you there are three things. The transcendent first manifests the universe. In other words, the cosmos. And then the cosmos manifests the fixed forms. It is done in three stages. The first stage is absolutely total freedom, and it creates the possibility of forms through nature. Nature is the second level, and the third level is the forms themselves. So these three levels, constantly you will see that they are coming always into the picture. Three levels. Okay? The seen as a presiding and pervading cosmic spirit who receives all out of the transcendence and develops what descends into forms that are now an opaque disguise or a baffling half disguise. Now, what is that? Okay? Opaque disguise, let us say a stone. But if you see a flower, it is certainly not as disguised as in a stone. It's a beautiful, beauty is there everywhere in color. So that's a half disguise. So you will see that gradation of the disguise also in the world. That's what Saint is saying. But destined to be a transparent revelation. Ultimately, it will become absolutely transparent, and you will see the divine fully here in forms also. The individual consciousness will recover its true sense and action, for it is the form of the soul sent out from the Supreme, and in spite of all appearances, a nucleus or nebula in which the divine mother force is at work for the victorious embodiment of the timeless and formless divine in time and matter. That's the purpose of the evolution. That what is there at the highest level will reveal itself in the lowest level. Okay? Victorious embodiment of the timeless and formless divine. At the highest level we spoke just now, it is formless, but it will embody itself and reveal itself even in form. That's what St. said. This will reveal itself slowly to our vision and experience as the will of the Master of Works and as their own ultimate significance. The significance of the works, which alone give to world creation and to our own action in the world a light and a meaning. Otherwise, you don't know what is happening. But when you realize the divine to a certain extent, you understand the meaning of your own life and your own action. To recognize that and to strive towards its effectuation is the whole burden of the way of divine works in the interior world. So, no, divine works, Karma Yoga, is different in integral yoga and different in the classical. In the classical Karma Yoga, it is slightly different from the integral yoga. Okay. So that completes the chapter. And now next, obviously, what is this divine work? Okay. So he will take up the next chapter in the divine work. What is the divine work and what do we have to do with it, and can we participate in the divine work? That's what will be the next chapter. So we can start that next time. We still have about 5 minutes or so. So if there are any questions, we can deal with them. Otherwise, we can stop here. I'm paying a good deal of attention to the word, the way Srinta uses words and the implication there. That makes understanding Srinta very much easier if you concentrate on the meaning and the hidden meaning of the words. Words are only an expression. They sometimes very confused. They confuse you very much, but you have to go behind the meaning. What does a word mean? Then you come to know what Srinta is saying. Okay? So we start.
Ranga,
Yes, yes.
how can we summarize this, the master of the work entire chapter? Master of the work in our day-to-day life, if we want to implement, how can we do it?
Oh, that cannot be done immediately. First
Of
of all,
course.
it's a slow process, na, Shilpa? It's a slow process. See, you are working in the dining hall, right? You still
Yes.
are, na?
I'm in account office now. Sabda account.
I didn't know that. Anyway, so the work that you are doing, okay, you have to do it for the Lord. Then slowly, in the beginning it's only a conception, but slowly it becomes a fact. And then you will see that when you have completely understood the purpose, you will see that the divine himself is doing the work through you. Okay? So that is the work that you are doing is always a divine work, but we think that it is our work. Okay? But slowly, it is a question of slow progress. If you take the right attitude doing Karma Yoga, I am doing it for the Lord, but it's only a mental resolve. Okay? But the mental resolve can become a reality as we keep progressing more and more towards the higher consciousness. It can't be done immediately. We have to be very patient and slowly, but doggedly and with great persistence and patience. We have to go on. The work I'm doing is not my work. I'm doing it for the Lord. Karma Yoga.
Can I ask a question, please?
Go ahead.
I'm just reading these 3 lines of Savitri.
Yes.
At the describing the Divine Mother.
Okay.
At the head she stands of birth and toil and faith.
Yes.
In her slow round, the cycles turn to her call.
Yes.
Alone her hands can change time's dragon base.
Yes.
My question is, what is time's dragon base?
The inconscient. The absolute rock bottom, inconscient.
But
So
that means the dragon actually represents something else also.
Yeah.
Only the emperor in China could wear the dragon. During the 1935s or so, Sanjiban used to draw these beautiful dragons and they used to embroider them and all. So that is the supramental dragon?
No, I don't think so. The dragon always represents the inconscient. But the whole purpose is to change the inconscient. So this is a complicated question, and there's a whole, one of our girls has done a whole thing on, and it's there on the internet. Okay? She has gathered all the quotations from Savitri and elsewhere, and also shown those paintings that you are talking about. Okay?
Of dragons. You're talking of Vilas?
That's right. Vilas.
Yeah. And no, I'm in touch with Vilas. And when the overmind descended, the mother took out this embroidered dragon and she put it out.
Yes.
And I think on 24th of November, they do display it at times.
Yeah.
So that is a different dragon.
Well, why mother did that, I can't say, but we can, in a certain sense, say there is one more step from the inconscient, one more step away from the inconscient. And the whole intention is to, so it can have different meaning, but I'm not sure at all of in what sense mother was using the dragon for the curtains. I'm not sure at all. I can't say. But when he says dragon base, he is meaning the inconscient very clearly. Sometimes he uses the word sphinx. Sphinx. You know why? Because the sphinx is a mystery. He asks you mysterious questions and you have to answer. So the inconscience, the human view, is a puzzle. What is this inconscient? Why is it the opposite of the divine? So you don't know what it is. That's why he uses the word sphinx and the dragon. These are images which he uses for the inconscient. That is sheer.
You know,
Because
Rangada,
in Mother India, Haradhan describes, he was there and he says that so far though it is only the overman which has descended, but now in future the supramental will descend and
Yes.
that will be a golden dragon.
Maybe, and that makes a lot of sense because the dragon is the inconscient, but the divine will reveal himself even in the inconscient, the golden dragon. That makes a lot of sense. Suki was saying something.
yes, you know, as I understand, in Western mythology, dragon is nature. The serpent and dragon is nature, female, and that has to be conquered by some sort of a male principle or something. So maybe as Rangada commented, the dragon as inconscience in Sri Aurobindo's writing. Sri Aurobindo may, you know, based on that Western mythology, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, that also makes sense. If it is something to be conquered, that makes sense because the inconscient has to be conquered.
Yeah, that's very rich in Western mythology and also the Middle Eastern mythology as well, the biblical origin, the way before the biblical thing. So yeah.
So when you say Western mythology or whatever,
Greek, I mean Greek.
yeah, so it is there in the Bible.
Actually not in the Bible, but yeah, I think the image of a snake is in the Genesis, I think. Yeah, image of a snake, and also the Middle Eastern mythology and Greek mythology, the image of a serpent, the big serpent, and the big serpent, which I think it can be dragon image. That's the obviously the nature to be conquered by the principal thing. So yeah.
If it is something to be conquered, it's very, very clear. Because the evolution is the purpose, the conquest of the evolution, the inconscient. The conquest of the inconscient is the purpose of evolution. So that is very clear.
Yes.
But originally, isn't the dragon a Chinese invention? Because only the emperor of China was allowed to have the dragon embroidered on his robe. The common man could not use the dragon.
Okay, Yasmin, since you have mentioned that, let me tell you something very interesting. Last Saturday, we were reading Life Divine with Narad, and we came across something very interesting. He says, Srivno says that the dragon existed in former times. Okay, it is not a mythological thing. He says it is the dragon actually existed in former times. Okay? And I was very puzzled. I said, how can this be that a dragon which is breathing fire, okay? How can it be something that really existed in the physical world? Then the more I thought about it, the more it became clear that it is more than possible. Because in all living creatures, there is an energy. And that energy takes the form of biocurrents. Okay? It's an electricity which is there in everybody. Okay? And that electricity produces heat, and it can also produce sometimes heat to such an extent that we have the example of the firefly. Okay? So it's a living creature which is emitting light. Okay? So it's a form of energy which is there, it's emitting light. And what about the electric eel? The electric eel is one which can give you a tremendous shock if you touch it. So there is this electricity in man, and it can also take different forms. Okay, it can also create a tremendous amount of heat. That also is there. We mentioned that there is a phenomenon called spontaneous combustion. Maybe you don't know about it. It's a very rare thing that the heat in the body uncontrollably increases to such an extent that the whole body gets burnt into ashes. Okay, this is not something funny. Okay, it is something real, very rare, but it can happen because our body regulates the temperature. It should not go below a certain level and it should not go above a certain level. If it goes above a certain level, you know that death can occur. And if it goes below a certain level also, death can occur. Okay, so it is regulated. But sometimes this regulation machine goes absolutely berserk. So Chunky has put up the, those who are interested can have a look at it. So, a
Yes,
dragon,
in the Bible, the dragon is Satan, the image of Satan. Yeah, it says that, and I think that's the thing. Yeah.
okay. There you are. So,
We also have a Scottish dragon.
uh,
In Scotland also they have a dragon which is very, very different looking and it has these wings, while the original Chinese dragon is made up of 7 different animals, like the scales of a fish, then the eyes of a rabbit, the body of a serpent, then the nose of a bull. So there are 7 different animals which are combined in a dragon.
Yeah, definitely in the East Asian context, dragon is king. You know, the China, Korea. I don't know about Japan, but yeah, China, Korea. That's kingship. Kingship is definitely symbolized by dragon. Yeah.
interesting. But Shivnu says very clearly that it's a memory, it's a vague memory of something that really existed at one time. He says there in Light Divine.
Maybe like the dinosaurs.
Yeah, but dinosaur we know.
That is exactly what I was thinking. Maybe it existed before the dinosaur.
Yeah, but the dinosaur we can reconstruct, and so we know definitely that it existed. But the dragon cannot be reconstructed from the fossils. But the dinosaur can be reconstructed from
The fossils haven't been found. Another, maybe it is much older. I mean, like this is just conception. It may be wrong, it may be right.
Okay, so we have to stop here today.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, au revoir.
Thank you, Nanda.